Hey everyone, welcome back to Talk Skeleton. I'm George Skeleton, your host.
And I'm Nora.
Have you ever known exactly what you wanted to say in English, but the moment it was time to speak, everything disappeared?
Your mind goes blank.
Your heart starts beating faster,
The silence gets awkward.
and suddenly, even simple English feels impossible.
If that has ever happened to you,
This episode is for you.
because today we're talking about something almost every English learner experiences.
But very few people actually understand.
Why you freeze when speaking English.
What's really happening inside your brain in those moments?
And more importantly,
How to stop fighting against it.
because freezing does not mean you're stupid.
It does not mean your English is terrible.
And it definitely does not mean you'll never become fluent.
It means your brain is reacting to pressure in a very human way.
And once you understand that reaction,
Everything starts making a lot more sense.
so before we go further, subscribe to Talk Skeleton.
Because, honestly, this might be one of the most important conversations we've ever had on this podcast. Now, Nora, I want to start with something simple, that freeze moment itself.
Unfortunately, I know that moment very well.
Tell us about it.
My worst freeze moment happened during a job interview. And the strange thing is, my English was actually good. I had prepared. I knew what I wanted to say.
And then?
The interviewer asked me a question I wasn't expecting, and suddenly, nothing. It felt like the answer was trapped somewhere inside my head, but I couldn't reach it anymore.
Like the words were behind a locked door.
Exactly. And the more nervous I became, the more locked the door felt.
And what's fascinating is that feeling isn't imaginary. It's biological.
Explain that.
When you feel pressure in a speaking situation, your brain starts interpreting the situation as a threat. Not a physical threat, but emotionally, it still feels dangerous.
Which activates the fight or flight response.
Exactly. Stress hormones increase, your heart beats faster, your breathing changes, your muscles tighten,
And your brain starts prioritizing survival over complex thinking.
including language. Because biologically, your brain doesn't really care whether you're running from a tiger or speaking English in front of people.
Which sounds ridiculous, but honestly feels true.
To your nervous system, both situations can trigger stress. And under stress, the brain temporarily reduces access to things like memory, creativity, and fluent language production.
Which is why words that felt easy 5 minutes ago suddenly become impossible to find.
Exactly. So the freeze isn't all in your head in the imaginary sense. It is happening in your head, physically.
And honestly, understanding that changes everything, because it means freezing isn't a character flaw.
It's not weakness.
It's your brain reacting exactly the way human brains react under pressure.
And if there's a reason for it, there can also be a solution.
Now, there's another huge reason people freeze, and this one is psychological.
Perfectionism.
Exactly. The need to say everything perfectly. Perfect grammar, perfect pronunciation, perfect vocabulary.
And that pressure creates hesitation,
Which creates silence.
which creates panic.
Which creates even more freezing.
It's a cycle.
A really exhausting cycle.
And honestly, sometimes the people who know the most English freeze the hardest.
Because they have more rules in their head, more awareness of mistakes, more fear of sounding wrong.
Which is why some beginners actually speak more freely than intermediate learners.
Beginners don't always know enough to judge themselves constantly yet.
There's a strange freedom in that.
And sometimes a strange prison in knowing too much.
Now, there's one more reason people freeze while speaking English, and this one surprises almost everyone.
What is it?
They're listening to themselves too much while speaking.
Oh, wow, yes.
There's this internal voice constantly commenting on everything. That word sounded wrong. Your accent sounds weird. That sentence wasn't natural. They noticed your mistake.
Like having a critic sitting inside your brain during every conversation.
Exactly. And while you're trying to communicate, you're also judging yourself in real time.
which splits your attention.
And when attention gets split, fluency drops immediately.
Because your brain is trying to do two difficult things at once: speak and monitor yourself speaking.
Which becomes mentally exhausting very quickly.
So listeners, we want to ask you something honestly. Which of these feels most familiar to you?
The biological stress response?
The perfectionism?
The internal critic constantly judging you while you speak?
Write it in the comments, because the truth is, so many English learners feel completely alone in this experience.
Somewhere in the world today, someone froze while speaking English.
And immediately felt embarrassed afterward.
Maybe they blamed themselves.
Maybe they thought, what's wrong with me?
But the answer is nothing.
Absolutely nothing.
Your brain is reacting the way human brains naturally react under pressure.
And in the next parts of this episode, we're going to show you how to work with your brain instead of against it.
Because fighting your own brain, that's a battle nobody wins.
But understanding it, that's where everything starts changing.
All right, so now we understand something important. Freezing is not random. It's not weakness, and it's not proof that you're bad at English.
It's your brain reacting to pressure.
Exactly. But now comes the real question. If freezing is connected to the brain, how do you actually stop it?
Because understanding the problem is comforting, but people listening right now probably want solutions too.
Absolutely. And honestly, the first solution surprises most learners.
What's that?
Stop trying to sound impressive.
That alone would help so many people.
Seriously, a lot of learners freeze because they're trying to build the perfect sentence before they speak.
They're translating, editing, correcting grammar, searching for advanced vocabulary.
All inside their head, in real time, while another human being is waiting for an answer.
Which is way too much pressure for the brain.
Exactly. Fluent speakers don't speak because they create perfect sentences every time. They speak because they trust simple language.
That's important. Simple language creates flow.
Yes, when you're nervous, simplicity is power. Short sentences, clear thoughts, easy vocabulary.
Instead of trying to sound intelligent, try to sound understandable.
Because communication matters more than perfection. Always.
And honestly, some of the most confident English speakers in the world use extremely simple English.
They just use it comfortably, without fear, without overthinking every word.
Which brings us to another huge solution. Stop treating speaking like a performance.
That's such an important point. A lot of learners unconsciously treat every English conversation like an exam.
Like somebody is secretly grading them.
Judging pronunciation, judging grammar, judging every mistake.
But real conversations aren't performances. They're human moments.
And human beings make mistakes constantly, even native speakers.
Native speakers forget words, restart sentences, mispronounce things, change direction halfway through speaking.
Communication in real life is messy, and that's normal.
But many English learners expect themselves to sound perfect immediately, which creates impossible pressure.
So here's something we want listeners to remember. Your goal is not perfect English. Your goal is connection.
Being understood, sharing an idea, expressing a feeling, having a conversation.
That's real communication, not performing flawless grammar under pressure.
Now, George, there's another thing that helped me personally with freezing.
What's that?
Repetition.
Ah, huge one.
When I first started speaking more confidently, I realized something. The sentences that came out most naturally were the ones I had already heard and repeated many times before.
Exactly. Confidence often comes from familiarity, not talent.
If a sentence is completely new, your brain has to build it from scratch under pressure.
But if you've already heard it 20 times, repeated it 20 times, used it before, your brain can access it much faster.
That's why listening matters so much, and shadowing, and repeating real English sentences out loud.
Because fluency is built from patterns, not from inventing perfect English every second.
which is also why practice needs to feel realistic.
Yes, a lot of learners only practice English silently in their head.
But thinking English is very different from speaking English.
Your mouth needs practice too. Your nervous system needs practice. Your brain needs practice staying calm while producing language.
Which means speaking confidence isn't just mental, it's physical too.
The more often you speak, even badly, even imperfectly, the less dangerous speaking starts feeling to your brain.
Because your nervous system slowly learns, oh, we're safe here.
Exactly. And safety changes everything.
That's why small daily speaking practice is far more powerful than waiting for confidence to magically appear one day.
Confidence usually comes after action, not before it.
I wish more learners understood that.
Me too. People often think, I'll speak when I feel confident. But most fluent speakers became confident because they kept speaking while feeling nervous.
Which means nervousness is not a sign to stop.
Sometimes it's actually a sign that growth is happening.
Now, listeners, we want you to think about something honestly. When was the last time you spoke English out loud?
Not inside your head, not typing, actually speaking.
Even one sentence, even alone in your room.
Because your voice matters in this process. Your brain needs to hear you speaking English too.
And if speaking still scares you right now, that's okay, really.
You don't need to become fearless overnight.
You just need to stop treating fear like proof that you can't improve.
Because every fluent speaker you've ever admired at some point froze too.
Felt nervous too.
Made mistakes too.
And kept speaking anyway.
That's the difference.
Not perfection, persistence.
So the next time your mind goes blank during an English conversation, take a breath, slow down, use simple words, and remember,
your brain is not your enemy.
it's just trying to protect you.
And slowly, with practice, repetition, and patience, you can teach it that speaking English is safe.
And once your brain feels safe, words start flowing much more easily.
Not perfectly.
But naturally.
And honestly, natural is far more powerful than perfect.
So far in this episode, we've talked about why freezing happens, the biology behind it, the perfectionism behind it.
The internal critic inside your head constantly judging everything you say.
And we've talked about solutions too, speaking more simply, practicing out loud, working with your brain instead of fighting against it.
But now we want to talk about something deeper, something emotional.
Because for many people, freezing in English is not just about language.
It's about identity.
Explain that.
When you can't express yourself clearly in English, it can feel like you're becoming a smaller version of yourself.
That's true. In your native language, you're funny, smart, emotional, natural.
You can express your personality fully.
But in English, sometimes you suddenly feel quiet, slow, limited.
And that gap can be painful, because inside your mind, you know you're more intelligent than the English you're currently able to express.
Which creates frustration, sometimes even shame.
And honestly, many learners secretly carry that shame for years.
Especially after embarrassing moments, freezing during class, forgetting words in conversations, feeling judged by other people.
But here's something important we really want listeners to understand today.
Your current English is not your final English.
The version of you struggling right now is not the finished version of you.
Fluency is not a personality trait people are born with. It's a process.
A slow process sometimes, an uncomfortable process.
But a completely normal process.
And honestly, you are probably improving more than you realize.
A lot of language growth is invisible while it's happening. One day you struggle to understand basic conversations, then suddenly, months later, you realize, wait, I understood that automatically.
Or you say an English sentence naturally without translating first.
And those small moments matter more than people think.
Because fluency is built from thousands of tiny moments like that, not one magical breakthrough.
Now, Nora, if you could give one final piece of advice to someone who freezes while speaking English, what would it be?
Honestly, stop waiting to become perfect before allowing yourself to speak.
That's powerful.
Because perfection is a moving target. Even fluent people make mistakes constantly.
But people who improve are usually the people willing to sound imperfect for a while.
Exactly. They keep speaking awkwardly, keep making mistakes, keep trying again.
And slowly, what once felt terrifying becomes normal.
That's how confidence is actually built, not by avoiding uncomfortable moments, but by surviving them repeatedly.
And realizing, oh, I didn't die.
Exactly.
Your brain slowly learns this is uncomfortable but safe.
And once your nervous system stops treating English like danger, everything changes.
Conversations become lighter, your thoughts come faster, your personality starts appearing naturally in English.
And eventually, English stops feeling like a test.
It starts feeling like communication.
Real communication, human communication.
So, listeners, if you've been struggling with freezing, we want you to remember something tonight.
You are not broken.
You are not stupid.
You are not failing.
You are learning something deeply human and deeply difficult.
And the fact that you're still trying, still listening, still showing up,
That already says something important about you.
it says you haven't given up.
And honestly, that's more powerful than perfect grammar will ever be.
So the next time you freeze during an English conversation, don't panic. Don't attack yourself. Don't immediately decide you're terrible at English.
Pause, breathe, simplify your thoughts, and keep going.
Even slowly.
Even imperfectly.
Because every time you continue speaking after fear, your brain learns something new.
It learns that English is survivable.
And survival slowly becomes confidence.
Confidence becomes comfort,
Comfort becomes fluency.
one conversation at a time.
Thank you for spending this time with us today.
And if this episode helped you, send it to someone who freezes while speaking English too.
Because sometimes the most healing thing a learner can hear is,
You're not alone in this.
subscribe to Talk Skeleton for more real conversations about learning English naturally and confidently.
And until next time,
Keep listening.
keep speaking.
Keep going.